Hello and welcome. Stoneshard has recently had an update, and like many people, I've decided to hop back in, and having played around for quite a bit, I thought, what better thing to do at this point than do a little sort of new player guide. So if you're struggling, I just wanted to put together this little video. We'll kind of go over some basics to kind of get you started, and this will kind of be a walkthrough of your first contract.
My leg is crippled.
So I'm going to skip through this dialogue because this is more of a guide video, but I'll do the full playthrough of up to my first contract, some things I recommend. Any character is totally fine, whatever you feel like playing. I've been goofing around with Leo here. I like the might and magic idea. I like the battle mage. It's kind of fun.
Anyway, so
all
here's
right.
the deal. We're
So we're gonna have a map, and the first thing you want to do, open up your inventory here. Use the map. Gives you this access. Now, you do not have to keep the map in your inventory. This can be sold immediately, so we're just going to move things around. And I do have a few things I like to kind of organize. So at the very start of the game, we have our coins, and we have some basic heals and some basic food and a little bit of money. We also get a couple of skill points. So you can actually take any weapon you like. We currently are starting with a two-handed mace. Doesn't mean we need to do that. And we do have access to a few different skills based on our character. So in terms of the magic we have access to geomancy. So I'm actually going to take Runic Boulder. It's a very strong skill, and it allows a lot of crowd control and does a little bit of range damage, which is really strong early game. But even if you don't want to use magic, there's lots of things you can do. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and talk to Brooke, and you can do all sorts of things. So if you actually talk to people, obviously you can read through this to get the lore, and it's great. You can ask where people are. You can just talk, and talking to NPCs actually gives mechanical benefits. So, you know, I read through this all when I'm typically playing. It's pretty interesting to kind of get a sense of the world, and the world is really cool in this game. But additionally, you're going to want to do some saving. Now, for me, I find 1 week is good enough to clear out all the contracts I want to do in this town. And so I do 1 week, and then I have that room now. And you can also buy some food and things. And it might be worth it to pick up a bowl and do some of your own cooking. But you can usually get them for free. So with the cooking, you can do that right here, and we'll talk about this a little bit later because I do tend to do a lot of my own cooking. But first things first, we're gonna head out right away, and there's two things that I usually do every time I start, and a lot of people will recommend this, and it's getting 2 quests before you get your first contract. But I'm gonna kind of go through it all relatively quickly here to show you that it isn't too hard, and just some basic tips. So first I'm going to talk to Jabbar here, and if you ask him for work, he will give you a quest to get weapons, cleavers, and homemade swords. You can also, what I like to do at the very beginning of the game, is do a little upgrade. So the heavy war club is totally fine. It does good damage, but I prefer using the long flail. So it's just something that I like to grab right away. It has a little bit better accuracy, but it does have a fumble chance, which is not awesome. But it has a much higher stun and daze chance, as well as a higher stagger chance. So that crowd control is gonna help me survive. So I'm just gonna grab that, put that on, and we will actually sell that. The other thing you want to grab before your first hunt is a way to open locks, because in dungeons there's always treasure that is hidden behind locked things. So I'm gonna get some lock picks. The other alternative you can do is get a crowbar, but I don't have enough money for a crowbar, and there's pros and cons. So lock picks, you can pick multiple locks almost indefinitely, and there's just a chance of it breaking if you fail to pick the lock. Whereas crowbars work every time, and you can also use them to pry open crypts as well as disarm mechanical traps, and it just works, which is awesome. However, every time you use it, it loses a durability. So this is sort of like 10 charges and you can open 10 locks. This, I've easily opened 10 locks with my lockpicks before, but you can also have really bad luck and only open 2 or 3. So it is a little bit of RNG, but you'll also notice that you get quite a few lockpicks for 1 crowbar, and it takes up a little bit less room in the inventory, which is also something to consider. Although the crowbar you can also use in a weapon slot, and you have 2 weapon slots, so you can just put it in like your off weapon slot, and that's fine too. But I'm gonna pick up some lockpicks, and that'll help us on our way. I'm gonna walk on down here, and the other person you're gonna want to talk to right away is this guy. So this is Fred. If you ask him for work, he's gonna send you on a mission to grab a few herbs that are pretty easy to find. So one of those herbs, and I'm looking at the map here because they actually spawn in fields best, and one of them actually spawns along the road. So I'm going to go south here, and the first one is Fleaworth. So I'm going to grab that. That's one that we need. And then we need spearmint. Oh, lentil. I'm going to grab that. So I'm just going to grab a lot of different herbs. And pretty well, I'm just going to hold Alt. And that's going to show me everything I can grab. So there's the spearmint. And the next one we're looking for is agrimony. So we're actually done that quest already. But I have lots of room in my inventory. And I'm going for a nice little walk in the forest here. And speaking of, for this build, I've decided, since I went for the 2-handed mace, I am just going to take a 2-handed mace attack. There are plenty of great abilities you can take. If you want to be a little bit more like weapons agnostic, there's some really cool things in warfare and athletics if your character has that you can grab. So something like War Cry is awesome because it doesn't like lock you into anything. Even Seize the Initiative doesn't like, you can use that with any weapon. It gets a bonus with spears if you're using those. So there are some things you can take early on if you're not sure what you want to lock into. But just because I like the idea of being a geomancer, like summoning boulders and then smashing people with my big hammer, I'm kind of going for like the flavor. And this is permadeath. And you can do flavor runs. The game is not so intense that you can't, it's not like you have to min-max everything. It's more about playing well. Every single skill in the game has use cases. I'm also going to grab this hemp. Hemp is actually really, really good in terms of like value. And we're going to grab some food. And you'll notice like the berries, they give you this buff over time. It only gives you like fractional amounts of food and thirst, but like as you walk, it'll slowly tick down. So I'm just gonna keep eating berries, and then we might, yeah, the thirst ticked down there because those juicy berries are giving me some hydration. You'll notice that's happening. I'm also gonna grab this stick, and that's gonna help us with our pain management. And I can hold Alt, and near forests obviously is where you're gonna find lots of sticks. And I'm actually just gonna grab a couple of that, and then ideally, let's see if we can get one more. One thing I would like to do is wandering around the field. If I could get a little bit more hemp, that would be something magical for me, because you can use this to make rope, and you can also use it to make a pain medicine, which is something that I'm going to do. Seems like I'm not having a ton of luck right now with that. That's okay. Get some raspberries. And once again, with the berries, I'm just gonna mow down on those immediately. Okay, let's see. Well, I have not a lot of room for my harvest. And yes, I can harvest lentils, but I'll grab a few more herbs, and you'll see why in just a moment. I'm going for that full inventory. Also grabbing another lentil, and we'll harvest that. And now we are pretty well full. So we'll head back to town, and we'll do a little bit of shopping as well as turning in that quest. So we go back to the herbalist. That super easy quest is gonna give us some resources. So we say, I finished your task. He just automatically grabs what we need, and he gives us some medicine, which is great. Next thing we can do is check out what he has for sale, and he's got quite a few goodies here. So obviously we have the healing salves, which have injury treatment and health replenishment. The thing that people sometimes forget, even though it says it right there, is the healing salve is meant to use on body parts that are not yet injured. And so that means you should be not saving it until you're really low. You should be using it almost proactively. And that's how a lot of healing in this game works, is you kind of want to do it proactively. And now I'm actually just going to sell all these herbs. They get 3 gold a pop. Not too shabby. And I'm going to put these back there. And then what else I'm going to do while I'm here is I have a little bit of money left over. You'll notice not a lot, just a teeny little bit of money. And I'm actually going to buy the smoking mix and the rope. So I have $0 now, but I'm good to go. So I'm going to inspect this, and I've learned how to make rope. And I'm going to inspect this, and I've learned how to make a smoking mix. So the smoking mix is just 1 hemp, 1 stick. I can craft that. And then this will actually give me a 2 minute, or not 2 minute, 120 turns. Not that a turn is a second or anything. You can just take as long as you need. But it's going to give me some pain change as well as pain resistance. So the pain change, I'm just going to multiply that, right? So I'm actually going to get 6 pain reduction over that time. But the pain resistance is also pretty good too. So once again, you're going to use this preventatively. It also has that situational morale change. And some people struggle with morale, but you know, you just got to imbibe in some of the substances, and your character will be happy for it. Now I'm going to save these 2 sticks, because ideally on my way to the dungeon, I will find some more hemp, and I will make a rope, and then I can make a splint, because splints are very useful. I don't have any way to stop bleeding right now, which potentially is a bit of a worry. So one thing you can always do is just keep grabbing some herbs, and bandages are super cheap, so you can top up that way. Now this friend here, he's going to ask us to stick with him, and he will happily buy things. And if you'll hover over these, you'll notice that bright red writing. You've already learned this schematic. Make sure things say that, like you've already studied the map. Those are important things, because we want to obviously not sell things until we've read them. And you can read books and all sorts of things. We'll sell that mind wart back to the herbalist. He has random gear. This is also how you can get identification scrolls, which will let you identify magical items. Very useful. So that is all said and done. I don't really need to buy any food, which you can do with these other merchants. I'm going to go in here, and this is where the elder is, to grab my first contract. But before I do that, little bonus tip. A lot of people know about this. You talk to this guy, and you can choose to buy an extra weapon for free. So this will get you whatever you need to start off the game. I'm obviously a melee character, but I can take a bow. So I'm going to do that. It gives me a bow. I can just sell this, and I probably will sell it relatively quickly. But this does let me do a little bit of hunting. And then the reason I go for a crossbow over a regular bow is you'll notice the accuracy penalty on a crossbow. You have minus 36 there. Well, bows are like minus 60 something usually. So crossbows are a lot easier to shoot, even though they take twice as long, because you have to load them and then shoot them. So speaking of, what we're going to do is we're going to reload this bad boy. And that little icon there is going to let us know that there's a bolt in it. And so when we swap to that, we have something ready to go. So we'll talk to Odar here. We'll keep listening, and we're going to accept the bounty hunt. I could ask for more money and things like that, but you don't need to min-max. And you know, I'm not a greedy mercenary. I'm a benevolent mercenary. And also the game does reward that kind of stuff. Like, you can get more money, but there's a chance that they'll be less appreciative of your services if you are hustling too much. So there is a benefit to not hustling too much. You can also just talk to random people, and you know, keeping your situational sanity and morale up, or lifestyle rather. So for sanity, this is from like learning rumors and talking to people and cooking. And then morale is going to be things like rest, as well as certain food or items like this smoking mix here has a situational morale buff that you get just for using it. So with that said, we are on our way. So I can hit M. I know my contract is up here. This is only going to take me a couple hours to walk there. And now I am level 1. A lot of people will recommend not being level 1, and obviously I'm kind of limited in what I can deal with in my inventory right now, and that's okay. It's level 1. I can manage. So I found another hemp there, and I found another hemp here. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a rope, throw those in there, grab that, toss it over, toss these guys over, and I'm gonna make a splint. So now I have a way to deal with an injured body part. I have a couple of lentils here that keep me topped up and well fed. There's nettles there, and if you stay near the edge of the map, you're less likely to run into brigands and wild dogs and things that are going to hurt you. But near town, you know, there's sort of low-level brigands and things like that. So I'm not opposed to wandering out a little bit. You'll notice I'm also picking up these mind warts. These ones give you sanity change. They're okay there. And I'm also going to keep this leek. It's a vegetable. And actually, with this leek and these lentils, I have the makings of a delicious soup. So I'm going to keep picking up those, keep grabbing the berries along the way, and we're just going to keep an eye out. These also give you fatigue resistance, and they're going to keep our hunger and our water mostly topped up as we venture kind of in a meandering route towards our goal here. So we'll just keep all these topped up, and we're going to head northwestwardly. You'll also notice if you get to the corner of a map, you can do things like take that very corner and then obviously pop up the next corner, and we've actually moved quite a bit of distance from here all the way up to here. And this is a quote-unquote safe tile. We're at the mill now. We could talk to some folk here if we so choose. I'm actually going to grab this stick because I've used my sticks for a splint, and it's always worth having a couple of sticks around, especially early game. And I'm actually just going to kind of cruise on by the mill. I'm not super worried about that. We're just going to focus on that first contract at level 1. I think we should be able to do it. We have a few backup emergency tools. We actually haven't fought anything yet, which is pretty rare. Sometimes you might fight some dogs or some brigands along the road. I always keep my inventory a little bit organized, just because. All right, and speaking of, we have a dog, and we're going to do the classic. We're gonna lure him away. And I'm going to get into a position where I have some bushes around me. And that looks great. So what I'm going to do is actually put a boulder here. And that knocks this one a little bit closer. And I'm just going to wait a turn. I'm going to wait a turn. And then use my knockback. Oh, and that's really bad. So I have to grab that. I'm going to try to daze him. I have to re-equip this. I'm gonna try to kill him. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm gonna smash him into the rock, into the other rock, and we've dazed him. So if you inspect, he's dazed, which is gonna give him an accuracy penalty as well as a fumble chance. So that's gonna be a huge penalty for his damage. I mean, he's already at 78%. So we're gonna smack him, and he's already running. So what we can try to do is throw a stick at him. So sticks, unlike the bow and the crossbow that I have, Sticks will actually have a pretty good accuracy. They don't do a ton of damage, and ideally you can get some throwing daggers or things like that, because they seem to hit pretty often, and they'll do that chip damage when someone's running away. Now I'm going to look at my inventory. I'm actually not too injured, and my hunger and thirst isn't too bad. So what I can do, I'm going to look at pain as well. Pain is okay. I could pop one of these, and this would give me a little bit of pain recovery, just a tiny little bit, and give me my morale up, back a little bit. I don't really think I need to, though. The other thing I could do is I could rest, but because we aren't in a tile, and usually from my experience there's only like 1 or max 2 encounters in a tile, I'm not super worried about resting. It's not like a dungeon where there's going to be a whole bunch more. So there might be another like pack of dudes around the road here, but I'm not super panicked. So I'm just going to keep exploring. And then these injuries, we're not, like I said, we're not in the dungeon. We have lots of space, and space is time. And that means we're going to actually just heal naturally. And I've also picked up a whole bunch of this flea wort, which I can use, and it gives me healing efficiency for a duration, as well as 1% injury. So I'm just gonna go from 89 and it's up to 90. So it gives me a little bit of a top up, so I can kind of just use it on the lowest things. And those healing that healing bonus is actually gonna stack. And so for the duration, I actually have a decent amount of healing that I'm getting from that. Although my health is full, so my regular healing is gonna be just fine. Some burdock and things, and by the time I wander through the rest of the tile, ooh, there we go, there's one more enemy. So we see one enemy, there's likely 2. It's very, very rare that there's going to be just one. So what we could do is back away a little bit, and we've got his attention with that stick, and he'll wander up and take a look at the stick. We're gonna hide behind the bush here, and we'll say, hey, no, come here, tweet. There we go. Okay. Now I don't know if he has a friend. We'll wait one more. He does. Okay. So we'll do the trick of, I'm gonna knock him into me a little bit, and then okay, the friend heard the noise. He hadn't been aggroed yet, so he's dazed, which is perfect. We'll wait one more. We'll knock him into that. Easily dealt with. Once again, I'm gonna actually just take a step back, and the thing I'm trying to do with these boulders is knock them into stuff, because that's going to give them this amazing debuff. And an additional thing that this debuff does when you knock them around is it gives them the can't use ability state. So he cannot use this impaling lunge, which actually gives him a 1 tile range. So because of that, normally he would like stand 1 away and stab me now, and then I wouldn't get to attack, or I'd have to move in and he'd get a free attack. But now because of this, I can actually wait here. Additionally, I don't really need the runic empowerment buff from having a boulder around, and these do drain my energy. So what I can do as sort of like a wasting turn is I'll just destroy that, let him come in closer, and then I'll smack him. And once again, that stun chance is amazing, like so good. So I just get to hit him for free, and then he went to walk away, and I got to make an opportunity attack. So I have my first battle cleaver. I think I may have forgotten one over yonder, but we're gonna find a whole bunch. I'm also gonna check out this. So perfect. It's a decent condition, which means I can actually get a little bit of money for that. And I'm gonna leave up here for my battle cleavers. I'm gonna grab my my sticks back. So that was a flawless victory. I took no damage. We just used our things wisely. We're level 1, and honestly, with a little, like, we're not even using the crossbow. If I used the crossbow, it'd be even easier. I could just be kiting and sniping and using the boulder to keep distance, but you really don't even need to use it. So I took it because you could, but you really don't need ranged weapons. They do make things much easier though. All right, we're at 97, 99, 98. We'll get everything up to 98, and then hopefully we can fully top up enemies. All right, so that is quite a bit. And they're kind of awkwardly around here. So, as per usual, I'm gonna take advantage of my, okay, and this guy, I don't want him to actually break this, so I will do that. I want this guy to take longer. So this guy, I think I can potentially, this is the risk. It's calculated risk, right? I'm gonna let this guy come and I'm gonna inspect. This is a low danger. He's just a goon. And this guy's also just a goon. The goons have no abilities. They are very easy. And I can even do that. All right. Perfect. Now we could throw the sword. Perfect. We got him. All right, how are we doing with these? Not good condition. Not good condition. I made a little mistake there. I can cancel my boulders and that'll help me normally get this back, but I did not. So now we have some ability points we can start putting into things. I'm going to go for vitality because I'm going to, and I do recommend when you're putting points in, you put them all into one stat. So not, I should up until the break points. So for example, I'm going to put up to 15 into vitality and I'm going to hit that plus 15 max health. And then I might branch out based on my needs, depending on what I want to do and like the items I've found and the abilities I've unlocked and that kind of thing. Now, in terms of additional abilities, there's lots of options. Setup is kind of neat when you're skipping a turn, switching to another loadout, using stances and maneuvers. You get accuracy and damage taken bonus. So there's some combos that you can do with something like Mighty Swing. So I could get something like this for now. It gives me a bonus stun chance. So I'll have like a 40% stun chance if I use Mighty Swing, which is crazy. Not to mention the bonus weapon damage, the bonus stagger, armor damage. But like this is, I have a minus 200% counter chance while it's on though. So you can't like turn it on and then counterattack with it up because that would be insane. It's just not going to happen very much there. I do have some passives that are okay, so like knocking things back with my mace strike gets like a debuff on them, but a lot of these things are going to be like they're all very synergistic in the weapon trees, and this is a really nice like AoE early on. Getting some of these early athletics abilities would be really good. There's some cool things you can do in survival, so I don't have any bandages, and something like first aid is actually very good. With one more point into vitality, I can actually get first aid. It stabilizes your injuries. It gives you a bunch of like healing. It gives you pain, but like when you're popping this, it has a long cooldown. You can, it can be worth it, right? So I'm not gonna worry about it right now. But it is something to think about. Lots of really cool abilities. One thing that I could consider is the self-repair. So you actually lose less durability, which saves you money. But then additionally, you get bleed resistance and crit avoidance when you're wearing well-kept armor, which is really nice. So, and hard target is also great if you're facing like archers and things like that. You get a huge bonus and makes you almost like immune to archers, which is great. But you can also just like float a point. You don't need to spend it. So I could save it for something later. The other thing I could do, which is pretty good, is put it into stone armor, which gives you a really nice buff for 4 turns, bunch of resistances, and then also when it ends, it does an explosion around you, which will hurt enemies, which, you know, is great. So I'm gonna take my time a little bit. I hurt my torso, and honestly, I have so many of these. This is one of those moments, preventative measures, right? We want to keep that nice and high, and you'll notice my health comes back really nicely. I'll let my energy come back a little bit because we are nearing the camp, and there will be enemies. I'm gonna eat a little bit, and I will also grab additional lentils. Now we are very well stocked in terms of food and things, so we will take things very slowly, and I'm going to step up, and perfect. There's a dude there. We're going to try to bring him down. Come on, buddy. We're going to shout. All right, he saw me. Great. And now we have lured him to the point where he should be well far away from his friends, and just to make sure that, like, if his friends are coming, they can't shoot at me from a range, and that we have an advantage, I'm gonna throw the boulder down, and then I'm gonna do the smack, and he is in a bad way. Reinforced club, that looks busted. And you'll notice I don't even actually have to, when I'm picking up an item, I can tell right away that this is broken based on how it looks. So like there's little dents and things in it. That means it's broken, right? It's low quality. It's not gonna be worth a lot of money. Whereas this guy here, you'll notice like the shaft is nice and straight. The metal is pointy. There's no dings in it. So I knew that one was worth money. So things like that are fun little details. And some rope there. Those will go nicely with the sticks that I threw to make a backup sling if I need to. Now there should be, yes, there's one more friend. I don't think I need to worry because we took out the other one, so there's only one now. I'm gonna knock him into the bush. I'll take a step forward, he'll take a step forward. Oh, I missed. I was going to try to knock him into the bush again, but he's just dead. Perfect. And I maybe take a little bit of a hit. I'm going to destroy the boulder. And now we've cleared our way to the dungeon. So we have the dungeon here where we're going to go, and it's going to be awesome. Perfect. A way to stop bleeding. Very good. Bottle of oil. We can save that for later. I'm actually going to throw this stuff on the ground so that I remember it, and we'll see if I can grab that. So next we are going to do a little bit of cooking. This is where we're gathering all those ingredients. So first thing I have to do is I have to pour my water into the pot, and I'm going to make a little bit of soup. So I actually get experience and morale and bonuses and stuff like that for this, and then I actually have to put it into the bowl. And it gives me hunger and thirst, and it's great. So I'm actually only at 9 hunger right now, so I don't need to eat this quite yet. That said, I'm gonna cook, and then I'm gonna get my water back. But I don't have any more, like, there's a bucket here. Like, maybe can we merge? We can't put it in the bucket. Nobody wants bucket soup, right? There's also a little onion there. We could do some additional cooking. So I only have the one bowl. So I can eat it right out of here, which I'm gonna do for right now. So I'm just gonna eat it, and then I have this fun buff where I actually heal really good right now. So 25% healing efficiency, 10% fatigue resist, which is awesome, and 100% hunger resist, so we don't actually get hungry. We're also getting a situational morale bonus right now for these 20 turns, which is pretty cool. Also looking at my sanity, I'm pretty good except for rest, right? So, and keep in mind, we are day 1. We came in at level 1. We're actually level 2 now by the time we're entering the dungeon, and we still have that ability point. So we're not, I mean, effectively we're level 1. but now we're in the dungeon, and we're going to be really careful, and we are also not going to be afraid to run away. And look at that, I hit examine, and there was a trap literally right here. So I'm just going to leave that there. I don't want to touch it, because if I fail, then we might trigger something. Great. There's a bad man right there. So what we can do is actually we'll throw this. No, we won't. We're gonna just shout because I forgot to grab my sticks. There we go. There we go. Yes, it was me. Enjoy. And we're gonna knock you that way. I'm gonna take a step back, and I'm gonna smack you into that. So I love geomancy because it has all this clever tactics you can do, and it is very safe as long as you're careful. It does, however, burn through energy rather quickly, and skill costs with the two-handed maces are very high. So using my mace swing is going to drain my energy really fast, and leaving my rocks up drains my energy really fast. So there's opportunities there for okay, some small trinkets can fit in your purse, which is what I was trying there, but not all of them. Little jar, great. We'll take that piece of junk, and as always, I'm just gonna keep pressing the examine the surroundings button, because I want to make sure I'm not stepping on a trap, which is a great way, there's one there, to end your adventure, especially low level. You can really, whoops, okay, and well, this is hilarious. So I'm actually gonna go diagonally. See, he's having a really bad time. That could have been me, but it's not. So let's see. He's probably gonna die. One more turn maybe. Okay, great. And I'm gonna let this guy. Oh, that just ran out. Okay, perfect. Well, I did get the XP for this guy. He's got a nice big sword there. I'm gonna go over here, and I don't know if there's anything down in this hallway actually, so this is a little risky. Whoops. I'm gonna hit him into the corner here, and then I'm gonna take one step, and then I'm gonna try to hit him again into the wall. Perfect. And job's done. So using the walls, using the traps, that is what you have to do. You just got to take things slow. We have another friend here. I don't there we go. Now I have some garbage to throw. Throwing garbage is always great. Perfect. And he's gonna come around the corner, and then I can even just say like, hey, come on, big guy. There you go. I kind of messed up my positioning there, which is not ideal, but it worked out. All right. Oh, all right. This is getting scary. So there's two of them, and my way out is kind of blocked, and I don't know what's up here. So this layout was actually a little bit dangerous. I'm actually going to destroy this boulder so they both come this way, and then I'm going to split them. Great. We did it. And I got us a splint. So this is a crappy sword. Look, there's a nice cheese here. Hunger, we're feeling good. Honestly, sometimes these initial, like the bread and cheese and stuff, like I should get rid of it. It's not great, but we're doing okay. We'll destroy that. We will take a little look-see. So we're in a dungeon. We're going to be preventative, and we're going to heal up that torso. Keep ourselves sharp. sanity and morale are great. Our pain is looking not too bad. I don't have a ton of extra water. Sometimes I like to, you know, even just like filling a jar or whatever with a little bit of extra water so you can munch on some herbs is a good strategy. But I mean, you have to be pretty down bad sometimes for that to happen. Now, I kind of save a lot of the looting to the end. And we have another trap here. You need to be careful though, because if you just like far click, your character is not intelligent in terms of pathing, and you totally will just walk over trap. Maybe another trap we can use. Great. And there's another door that way. I think, okay, we seem to have done a pretty good job of clearing out this area. Okay, great. We have another bowl, so we can and we have a ladle. That's awesome. Some wire. Great. None of this is particularly exciting, but we will keep exploring. This kind of room is a little scary, but we do have now a clear path to our exit. The other thing I could consider is going this way and exploring a little bit, just to make sure that, like, if I am running for my life and making noise, I don't have a bunch of angry brigands running me down. All right. Speaking of angry brigands, all right, that they noticed. Okay. Well, we have options though, right? We can go all the way back to this trap. I made another mistake, and a lot of it is making small mistakes. So we're gonna look at this guy. This is an enforcer, but he has abilities, right? So he's not just a goon. This guy's a goon. This guy's a little bit scarier, but he's not honestly that scary. Aha. I have heroism. So I get life drain, crit bonus, magic power bonus. And killing enemies depends on the number of enemies within vision. Okay, so I have 2 enemies in vision. I get a small bonus. Great. So what I can do is I'm going to knock him into that wall. Give him a little. I still need to separate them a little bit better than that. So actually, we'll just destroy that boulder. We'll take one more here, and we'll do the old split. Perfect. Perfect. And we can even do this. Nice. Okay, so he is done. I can wait a little bit, and then that's gonna block line of sight, which breaks that back boulder, and then he's dazed for 2 turns. So he's not gonna be able to use this hooking chop to pull me in, and I can just wait here, and then I can knock him back and stun him. And then I'm gonna, oh, he hit me and I'm bleeding. There we go. All right, so we'll destroy all boulders, and then we're gonna use this bandage on our leg. And it's a little bit injured. So once again, preventative measures. We're gonna hit that. Pain is looking okay. Thirst is very manageable. Hunger's great. Morale and sanity doing just fine. That's a big old axe that looks broken. Whoops, I wanted to check out this guy. Also does not look good. And I'm using the healing salves a little bit more than I need. I could probably, pinch some pennies if I wanted to. But we're gonna use them because I find you also get a lot of money relatively easy in this game. All right, we're gonna hit a little search because we haven't actually searched this room. All right, I think we are free from enemies. Bookshelves are fantastic because they have these little treaties, which is awesome. Also, a little bonus ring here, so it's going to give me 1 health restoration, which is great. Heal a little bit faster, and from that. So yeah, we're going to read this. Even though we don't plan on using staves at all, we do get 26 experience in the bottom here, and it is worth money. It is like the books are just worth good money to sell. So yes, I'm not going to come back here likely, so I am just going to smash that box. Smashing the boxes does give you a chance at stuff like nails, which honestly, not worth a ton of money, but it's okay. Okay, so this is locked. I'm gonna pick it, and it failed. And it failed again, and it opened. Great. I'm gonna check for bad stuff. Seems like we're okay. All right, what a waste. Man, that was really unlucky with my lockpicks. That is okay though. We'll be okay. Okay, optimism, perfect. So this is gonna help. Okay, our pain's already down. Situational morale is gonna be going up, but we're doing okay. Really, it's just rest that our character needs right now, because once again, this is day one. We're pretty. Oh, this was looking like a boss room. Well, I can throw some stuff. Oh, maybe not. Oh, maybe he is. Let's see. Let's throw a horseshoe. Oh, he found me. I don't know if he's bringing friends. So I can save this for the boss, and there's also this guy I can save for the boss. We'll do one more, and then I can kind of block off the door, let him come in, knock him into the table, get him fumbly bumbly, and everything is grand. All right, I'm gonna pick up my horseshoe, and we are gonna hit that search. We do need to make sure the search is fine. It is fine. All right, 2 doors to pick from. I guess we're picking this one because I'm already here. And we have an enforcer, and that's the boss. They didn't see me. He has. But I feel like as he runs past, I am going to aggro multiple. We'll see what happens, because I don't know if you noticed, but when they activated, they had the yellow marks, which typically means they've been alerted by something, but they're not sure what, whereas the red exclamation marks means they've seen you and are coming to battle. So I'm just going to range test here, and I think I will hold myself. Okay, yeah, it looks like they're coming. So what we're going to do is we are going to take advantage of the traps. And this is where I might actually like straight up run away. Okay, we have to go one more. Okay, great. That is fantastic. So I'm actually going to bring him in, and I might let him fight me a little bit. And I made a mistake by fighting with my back against something. So not ideal, but he was able to knock me in to that, which sucks. Hello, big friend. All right, and the boss is coming. I'm just gonna check here. So he has onslaught, armor break, and mighty kick. So he's a little scary. Okay, that was bad. And we did it. Perfect. This guy's a little bit injured, so I'm actually going to go for a daze on him and a break on that other one, and then just smack him. Great. So that was a little bit risky, but we took the calculated risk. I did take an attack of opportunity so that I could get into a position where I wasn't going to get knocked back into things. And yeah, it went fine. It went just fine. Level 1. Be like that sometimes. I also do have this vivifying essence that I can use to give me a quick boost of health if I need it, as well as I have the flame flask I could throw to do a bunch of damage and like set people on fire and stuff. I'm gonna eat this apple real quick. It's gonna give me a nice immunity change, healing efficiency, and keep my hunger and thirst topped up. And now Whoops. We have some time. I'm gonna just throw that purse on the ground. Another peasant long flail. Hey, reinforced club. These are all in terrible condition. So now we have to go through and actually look for the loot, and we also need to look for additional battle cleavers and homemade swords and things like that. And there still are very likely other enemies here. So we do need to still be a little bit cautious. We haven't actually cleared out the whole dungeon. Ooh, a fig bonus. So this is great. I'm just gonna eat that and get some nice little buffs. So yeah, it is worth smashing those barrels. And I think this room should be not trapped. Great. So there's some mead there. Once again, holding Alt, I can see interactables. There's a little shield. It's actually not a bad shield there in terms of the quality. It's only 34 gold though, so we might be able to do something better. So yeah, there's 20 for a 2 slaughter. And mead also is pretty good in terms of reducing pain. It also gives us situational morale. And a little bit of thirst, despite giving us, like, in the long run, a thirst penalty. So it also has, I believe mead has two swigs, so you can use it a couple times. So we can definitely top up. We have a rag. I'm keen on the rag. I think we'll take that. What do we got here? Spearmint. Great. And there's a bookshelf over here and some more lootables. I'm also searching because you can find hidden things. We got some sword treaties and ancient coins. So these are where you'll notice 7 coins have a value of 28 gold, or regular coins. So good money there. We're gonna read that, and we have extra loot and bonuses. Now we have. We don't need to keep this mine wort or this hemp. In fact, I'm going to eat the hemp. Why not eat a mine wort too, just because? And then we'll grab some of this stuff, and we might be able to do a little bit of cooking. I am thirsty now. I'm just going to have a little swig of water, and we're still thirsty. We'll top that off in a minute. We're not in a rush, really. Bonus rope. Okay. For a bandage. Okay, I need rags. I can't use ropes for that. I could make them another sling, or whoops, splint rather. I don't need that. So, oh, hello. All right, we are really just wailing away at each other here. There is another friend there. Might just back away a little bit. We're gonna once again keep things topped up, keep things hunky-dunky, and we're not hungry or anything. Pain is getting there. So you know what? We're gonna use that. We're also gonna have a little sip. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna rest just until the drunkenness. I mean, honestly, being a little tipsy is actually not bad for battling too. You get bonus dodge, you get bonus weapon damage, you get pain resistance. The only thing is you do get an accuracy penalty, so it can sometimes not be good. It's not the wind. Hey, it's me. All right, I think we're in a position now where we're good to go. Into the doorway. We'll do one more. Smack him down. We'll wait. We'll just swing for the fences. Ow. Why you gotta stab me in the head? How's this one look? See, like, look at the difference in the sprites there. The shaft is all busted up on this one. We don't want that one. All right. We leveled up again. So, well, yeah, let's just put that point into vitality. And I mean, realistically now, too, we could do something like we could put the double point in, right? We could get any of these, really. Increases the threshold for negative effects by hunger, thirst, pain, fatigue. Nice. And it gives us a bonus for, yeah, I mean, this if you're struggling with your situational morale and sanity, a lot of people have been struggling recently in the patch, just take this. It's super easy. I mean, either of these can be fine, and then just grab austerity. It's super good. First aid also pretty cool. Right now I've used the hemp, so the cooldown is showing a little bit longer than normal. But yeah, it replenishes a good chunk of health with a single button press. Oh, I'm thirsty, so let's have a little sip of water. Perfect. I'm playing a little bit with fire because I know it's very likely that there are not enemies in this area. Oh my goodness, we almost had tragedy strike here. Lots of beets and things, so plenty of food, which is a bonus. We're gonna get in here once again. We'll check weapons rack, nothing. Nightstand, a single charcoal chunk, which is not terrible. Perfect. So that right there, we can throw that agate in our purse. That paid for the lockpick. We made it back. So definitely worth bringing the lockpick. Usually you can make a little bit more than I've made with bringing a lockpick, but we can't be lucky every time. And that's really a big part of the game, is just managing. I mean, the whole game is managing resources, right? But a lot of it's also managing luck. There is a lot of RNG in the game, like with crit chance and fumble chance and dodge chance and stun chance. So there's so many things that are random, but with a little bit of planning, a little bit of luck, it can happen for you. So we're going to keep moving. So we didn't explore this way at all. And there is immediately a goon. And I'm just gonna wait right here. He's having a bad day. I'm also getting to the point where, like, I'm a little bit injured, and I could perhaps consider, oh, there's a trap there, that is handy, doing a little rest. So I could just come back to a room, honestly, even like right here, right at the entrance, nice and safe, and rest. And what we're gonna do is we'll just let time heal our wounds. And partly I'm doing this because I wanna keep things up. Our fatigue is getting to a point where it could be annoying, but it's not so bad. What I will do is I'm just gonna pause the rest there. This limb, I'm noticing it's just that much more injured than everything else, so we're just gonna top it up real quick. Health, we're looking at we are hunger rather. We are looking at a point where this is gonna be a very great efficient turn in terms of using that up. So we're gonna use that up. We have all this cheese, and we have this additive here. So if I had a little bit more lentils, I could do something. I could also make a salad or something. So what we might even do is just to get the space in our inventory, we'll come up here. We can do a vegetable salad with a beet, a leek. What else do we need here? Just any vegetable. So we can just do, well, garlic lasts forever, potatoes last forever, lentils literally last forever. So we'll do a second beet. If we did beet, and then we could do a second salad with a beet garlic potato as well. So we can even do 2 salads. And then what we can do as well, just for inventory space, we'll have a salted beet leek salad. And then we got, look at that, expiration time plus 100%. So that's going to give us 6 days. So this is good for a while here. So we have a nice long duration. These are going to expire sooner, the cheese especially. But we have so much food. We're doing great on food. In terms of pain, we're at 5%. We're looking pretty hunky dunky there. There's this onion on the ground. I did not forget about the ground onion. That sounds like ground beef, but that's not what I meant. Anyways, it's just an onion on the ground, and we'll come back to him later. We'll keep searching. I guess we'll go north. We'll go north. Just gonna keep poking away here. Aha. All right. Enemies abound. We'll step in and we'll knock them back. Perfect. All right. I do have all these. I have 2 AP. So I do kind of want to think about what we're going for. Cauterize wound, maybe. Geomancy, I could grab this. I also, if I invest a few more points, I can just get this for free without needing the book, which is kind of what I'm going for. Really, I'm going for stone spikes. That's a really good one. I need the book for athletics, warfare for free, opportune moment. So the critical strikes giving me energy is not really what I need. Setup could be okay. 2-handed maces. I mean, honestly, I don't have anything I really super need right now. Oh, double trap. See, when you find one, don't think like, oh, good, I found the trap in this room. You might find another trap. So just let that be a warning to you. I mean, this was looking like a secret room entrance to me. I don't know about you. Okay, let's see. Can we? All right, we did it. We're in. Are we trapping our stuff? No. Okay. Let's open. See, like, you'll notice I've been getting a lot. Okay, these hand wraps are garbage. They're really bad. But it does sort of make me think, you know what we can do? Like, I don't really need to. I could bring these home. They're kind of yucky and stinky, but this is why we save our points. So for armored combat, I'm going to take self-repair. It doesn't lead to anything particularly good, but it does let me now do this. So I can dismantle that, and I can use this to now keep my gear topped up. So, you know, I can keep my doublet nice and high here, so that it's not going to get any penalties. And it also, I can use it to then be worth more money. So speaking of, I'm glad I didn't repair the hat, because this one's good. This one's pretty good. It's better than what I was using. It has higher protection, and early on, I'm gonna value things and get a little bit more protection. But alas, this is what we're doing. We're gonna now dismantle this, and once again we can upgrade. So I'm looking at the durability here, and I want to make sure they're far away from 50%, because then if they're below 50, they start getting penalties. So I'm going to keep this one a little bit higher. And great, fantastic. Another nightstand, cloth, and you'll notice this is actually a valuable. It is worth 160 coins. So this is a high value item. So we're going to snag that, and our inventory is looking full. Now, we are actually technically done the dungeon, right? Like, we've done the contract. The contract was a bounty hunt, and we've hunted that bounty. So we're technically allowed to leave. I am just gonna throw this on the floor, eat that, and then pick up my floor garlic. So we are allowed to leave, but there is still goodies. Then there are, you know, enemies. We got a pear. Ooh, a pear. Look at that. That's that. Oh, we're gonna get some we're gonna be satiated from that pear. I'm gonna get some marginal sanity and morale going. And this is locked. So I've turned on edge scrolling. The other strategy you could do is hold the middle mouse button, and that actually does let you scroll a little bit faster. So I have looted everything. I've explored everything except for this one path. I am going to pick it, and we are in. Interestingly enough, usually these locked rooms have no enemies because you wouldn't lock someone in the room, right? And this is actually, it looks like the last room, of course, is the armory, which has all sorts of goodies. You also may have noticed that my pick that I used 2 charges instantly has since opened like 5 locked things. So we're doing pretty good there. Now, the splint, we never really needed one. We're just going to toss that off to the side, and we're going to make a little bit room for this squirrel pelt. So these pelts are actually worth a little bit of coin. A fish shield, not great. Weapon racks, shield rack. There is a apparently I can open this. This looks like a workbench. Maybe it's because, there we go. Now I could craft here. And it would let me make actually higher tier recipes than I could normally make. Oh, and perfect. We have a homemade sword. I'm just going to ditch these rags and nails, something like that. I'm honestly going to also ditch that because I need room anyways for a third one. And just because, what we'll do is we'll do that. So if we find the next one, we'll toss the horseshoe. And we do know that if we are desperate, we can come back here and grab that. Ooh, a tomato. We're getting all sorts of food. Very good for food. Gold nugget. Nice. Put that in there. So once again, looking in here, we do have 3 extra slots worth of little trinkety goodness that would otherwise be taking up our inventory. And I really feel like that's a secret in there. Come on. No? Maybe down here? Okay, no secrets for us. But that's it. We did it. We successfully completed the dungeon. That's the whole thing. We did the whole thing. So we came in or ran towards it at level 1 and defeated the dungeon, cleared it out, got some crafting. We kept our morale and sanity high. We've managed our pain. Our character is ready for a little bit of a nap, and we've done it. We're gonna head back to town, claim our rewards, and be on our way. So I know this was really long. It's a long video, and there was a lot of talking, and my style, I'm not going to edit it down. But hopefully, if you were struggling with the game and you wanted to kind of see some strategies for how to deal with things, this helped you out. So using our traps, using our resources, planning ahead, being careful, that's what the game is about. You really have to manage your time, manage your in turns rather, and be efficient with your abilities. But you'll notice I really only used 2 abilities, and that was all I needed. There's plenty of other things. I could have done a bow build. I could have used my crossbow a lot more. I could have used magic. Lots of things you can do to make it easier. This is not the easiest way to do it by any stretch. Easily, you could just grab a jolt or some pyromancy and just go to town kiting forever. Very simple. Grab a bow, take aim, and just shoot all the enemies before they even get to you. So lots of cool things to do. This is a fantastic game, and as I said, this was just a really introductory, just to show you some basics, how to get into it, minor spoilers, but hopefully you've enjoyed. So thanks for watching. If you want more Stoneshard content, give me a little thumbs up, give me a little comment, and I'm happy to keep playing. Maybe we'll do another run. We can do it. I'm probably going to stream this a little bit. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.